In the last 10 minutes, more Palestinian deaths as Israel attacks protests in Gaza and West Bank. Striking workers and students in France denounce war. Gaza massacre in the last 15 minutes. PNP calls for end to violence against Palestinians in the last half hour. U.S. envoy claims Israel acted with restraint. In Gaza, MPs accuse Israel of targeting civilians. Sanders, Israel must be condemned for Gaza rioters' deaths in the last 2 hours. Vandal Paints Israeli Flag on Ben Franklin Parkway. Cops say embassy row sparks violence in Gaza. Gaza protest, clashes between Palestinians, Israeli troops kill 2. Are Israeli operations against Gaza rockets productive? Gaza, the bullets stop, the burials go on. Israeli forces shoot Canadian doctor in Gaza. Former NSC ambassador, South Africa and Turkey not important for Israel in the last 4 hours. UN Security Council holds emergency meeting to discuss situation in Gaza. U.S. stands apart on Gaza, justifies embassy move to Jerusalem. Israeli forces kill 2 Palestinians near border as Gaza buries the dead. Mumbai, people hold rally at Azad Maidan to protest against Gaza massacre. How to avert more death and despair in Gaza. Ontario doctor shot while aiding Palestinians in Gaza. Ted Cruz, U.S. should undoubtedly look to Israel as border. Hundreds protest after bloodshed in Gaza as U.S. Embassy opens in Jerusalem. They sold Hadar and Oren in favor of an agreement. Hamas said to offer Israel quiet at Gaza border if airstrikes curbed. Turkish PM invites countries to join OIC emergency summit. Army kills 2 Palestinians in Gaza. Hundreds show solidarity with Palestine in London. Spotlight. UNSC condemns massive killing in Gaza, urges independent probe. Palestinians in mourning after bloodiest day since 2014 war. U.S. blocks UN call for inquiry into killings. Netanyahu and Erdogan break diplomatic ties and trade. Insults in the last 6 hours. Killings in Gaza by Israeli forces, tragic and concerning, says Mayes. Africa Jews, Ambassador Recalé, gross double standard. Israel army sends humanitarian aid to Gaza. Palestinian protesters in Gaza aren't protesting the embassy move. The latest, Israeli military sends aid to Gaza. Israeli open fire orders predictably result in bloodbath. Would alleviating Gaza humanitarian concerns ease violence? Harsh living conditions in Gaza fuel little to lose mentality. Former CIA director, Trump and Netanyahu responsible for Gaza massacre. Violence ebbs but tensions do not in Gaza. Jerusalem embassy issue, excuse to riot, kill. Israeli tactics in Gaza face scrutiny. How the world is reacting to Gaza border bloodshed. Israel, U.S. criticized for Palestinian deaths in Gaza. Clashes. Irish government should expel Israeli diplomats over Gaza. Attacks. Gaza violence spurs global worry about U.S. Mideast policies. Snipers massacre Gazans as Palestinians resist Israeli apartheid. Trump has freed progressive Democratic senators to finally criticize Israel. Protests across Ireland against Israeli attacks on Gaza. Dale divided on response to violence on Israeli-Gaza border. Israel must avoid a moral and political defeat. DNP. Why do Palestinians die when Israel is doing the killing? United States, Palestine, and Israel trade barbs over Gaza massacre at UN Gaza border. Residents speak to the Post about the tension in air earlier today. State Department, Hamas using embassy as excuse for violence. Pavlich, media gives Hamas exactly what they want. Video, U.S. lauds Israel's restraint in Gaza. Clashes. 58 dead in Gaza protests as Israel fights U.S. embassy move. State Department, Hamas using embassy move as excuse for violence. Turkey's Erdogan tells Trump, history will not forgive you over Gaza. Commentary, how to avert more death and despair in Gaza. Gazans mark Nakba with protests. Grief in the last 8 hours. Palestinians bury dead. Vow revenge. Kuwait wants UN draft resolution.